Welcome to the shop. I'm Jared and this is the Questionable Garage. And it is an absolute catastrophic mess right now. I hate a dirty shop, but well, that's just the amount of time that we had. Just enough to barely get cars ready for that event we were talking about in the last episode. Now, if you missed the last episode, we were talking about our 1971, 73, something another Dodge Dart that we were getting ready to take to an event. And that event is hosted by Taylor Hull, and it's called the Southern Classic. It's where a bunch of us maniacs get together and we recreate Smokey and the Bandit. We head on out to Texarkana because they're thirsty here in Atlanta. And it was not looking good for us. Everything is broken.
It blew up.
And we are working to get it together and put something together. And, well, I left you guys off with me riding a little mini pit bike. That would have been a rough ride, let me tell you. I needed a potentially whole new engine and cross member, so I reached out. My friend Taylor had the perfect vehicle. And he said, come on, get it and load it up and bring it back and hopefully piece a car together. So that's what I did. I headed on down to South Georgia and brought it home. And that's where we're gonna pick up. We're gonna head over to Sally's Speed Shop where Jacob Davis is there waiting, and we've got Taylor Hull, and we're picking up a parts donor, kind of. Well, all right, I am back with the new Duster, and the shop's a lot cleaner. There's still stuff that doesn't all have a home. Those are mostly parts to go into Earl. Earl's making progress. I'm really excited to get this set up and build a mount. This is the new ArcDroid CNC that got sent to me that I'm really excited to play with, but there, so much better. If you're asking why there is a massive Dodge Dakota go-kart, well, I'm going to my friend Travis Bell's backyard 400. I'm a big boy, I take a big go-kart, so we found one. But here it is. Now, in my time lapse, we were pretty much just loading it and getting it, because if you go to Sally's Speed Shop, Jacob Davis's channel, or Taylor Hull's channel, Taylor Hull, you can see a little bit more of us talking and some of the craziness we plan to do with this. So yeah, let's take a look at this amazing 70s Duster here. Now, the patina on it is really cool. I wish there was less rust on the bottom. We all kind of agree, like, it'd be cool if the blue was a little higher. Long-term plans, I don't want to keep this patinaed. It eventually is gonna get all nice sheet metal and a color. Now, there's Mopar colors. Anyone has a guess that what this will eventually get painted as? It has my name on it. The main thing I initially went to get this car for was this 318 that is living in. It's been mounted very securely. Somehow we made the trip and all of those shim plates have made it. But once we got the car here, I realized I'm 90% sure that is a inline 6K member, not the correct one to bolt this into the other A body. Looking at this car, I like it a lot more than a four-door Dart. I think it's a lot cooler. I think we can do some really cool stuff with it. I sent a picture to my friend Derek, Vice Grip, and he was like, oh, come on, a Duster? He's like, and I don't understand this comment. He said, Dusters are like content creators' belly buttons. Everyone has had one. Had. I still have mine. I don't know if maybe at like 500,000 subscribers or something, like you have to give YouTube your belly button. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited about a Duster. Mopar A body. It's got a really cool vibe going. But what kind of doomed this car, and where Taylor planned to use it as a stunt car and crash it, is it got the traditional frame rail rust. He welded in a little bit of a support panel there, but we can get a frame rail and fix that sheet metal and get this thing going. This rust is crazy. Jacob even noticed it too. how much pitting there is. Let's see if we can get it to kind of show. That is a tremendous amount of pitting to not actually be rotted through on the top. I'm not sure where it was sitting, what it was sitting on, under. It's really unique. Also what's unique is just how and where this car has rusted. So you got a little frame rail, the core support, floor pans in some weird spots. These doors do open and close really well. Why don't we have cool logos like that anymore? But if you notice, we've got a manual transmission car. We've got our guardian angel keeping watch. This floor pan was completely gone, and Taylor cut the bottom of the trunk out and made it a new patch panel, which I kind of appreciate. We have got a absolutely not intact interior, no seats, no carpets, a dash. We do have a blower. I don't know if there's anything else that should go there, or you know, if that squirrel cage just violently rattles around. But it does have, you know, yes, there is an interior. It's not a good interior, but it is an interior. So yeah, it is probably becoming abundantly clear that this car is not going to help us with the problem of having something to drive for the Southern Classic. I've got a lot of talents, pretty good at things, but not quite sure I can get this built in a day. So why are we gonna build it? Why do we have it now that we are obviously past the Southern Classic? That's because I've got something absolutely amazing planned for the car, and it's gonna be nuts. And I'm gonna tell you about that right after I tell you about today's sponsor, ShipStation. For just over a decade, I helped run one of the nation's premier Toyota Supra websites where we sold a tremendous amount of parts online. Now, our shipping process was painful. You'd submit an order, we would get that order, we'd have to then run and provide you with shipping quotes, we would email you back, and we'd have to get a follow-up payment from you. 2 payments, a day or 2 delay of us having to chase back and forth to get quotes, and every year we would have to handle the negotiations with all of the shipping providers, trying to make sure we got the best rates so we could actually provide affordable shipping. Now, if I had ShipStation back in the day, I would have been very happy. It would have been more efficient for my employees to help manage sales. We would spend less time dedicated to negotiations and handling that whole process because ShipStation integrates seamlessly into all of the major online marketplaces. You can manage everything from one simple dashboard. You can automate shipping tasks, you can compare rates, and automatically update delivery times. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, ShipStation scales with you. In an online e-commerce environment where everyone is offering free shipping, it's hard to survive if you have to pay too much for shipping. When you use ShipStation, you can automate your shipping, guarantee you're getting the best rates, and make returns easy to keep your customers happy. And with all of that automation that ShipStation offers, you have more free time to help grow your business. And with ShipStation, they have negotiated up to 84% off with USPS and UPS, allowing you maximum savings when it comes to shipping. And to prove they are the best at helping you save money with shipping and giving you more of your life back to grow your business, they are giving you a free 60-day trial with code questionable. Click it down below. Over 130,000 e-commerce companies have tried ShipStation, and 98% that stay with them for a year become customers for life. They are that good. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation. Head on over to shipstation.com/questionable and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's shipstation.com/questionable. Sign up today. What are you waiting for? All it's going to do is help you make more money with your business. Like, seriously, as soon as the video's over, click the link. Open a new tab right now. Save money, make money. It's win-win. All right, before we show you underneath the Duster, why? What are we gonna end up doing the long-term build for this thing? So if you remember last year, we took Johnny to Holley LS Fest, did a lot of upgrades while we were there, and then I went the following weekend to Holley Mo Party, and I heard about a competition they have called the Grand Champion. You show up with a car, and you compete on the road course, you do drag racing, you do the autocross, you do the 3S, which I did with the Charger where I was kind of showboating a little bit, you do the countryside cruise, and the car show. And there might be one more thing. Basically, you're showing up and proving you have the most well-rounded and capable car. It can do everything and do it well. And last year was the first time that somebody won, one driver won all 3 events. But that's kind of easy. You show up with a real nice car and you have a different one for each week. So I'm going to do something that has never been done, and I'm challenging all of you, content creators, just automotive enthusiasts, absolute glutton for punishment. I want to see you guys show up and try to do the same thing. I am bringing one car to all 3 Holley events in September. Holley LS Fest, Holley Mo Party, and Holley Ford Fest. We got a Duster that is gonna have to be LS powered for week 1, and then because track days start on Thursday, we have about 2 days to then put a Mopar engine in it, and then we have 9 days for Ford Fest. So my plan, and you will see this build on the channel coming up in the next couple months because, well, we're already doing a lot of builds, but we are gonna get this thing ready to compete as a grand champion in September at all 3 events. LS powered, Mopar powered, and Ford powered in 3 weeks. If you guys think you're up for that insane challenge, go for it. I don't wanna be the only one there. We'll figure it out. I would love to see 10 of us all show up all at once and bludgeon our way through this and kind of make the record together. Hopefully someone else is at least as crazy as I am. So I really hope to see all of you guys show up with something at the Holley LS Fest, Mo Party, Ford Fest, Triple Crown Showdown. That's what I'm calling it. It's right off the tongue. But we need to go ahead and pick this thing up and take a look underneath so you can see just how much trouble I was in for even considering this as the car I was going to build in a day to compete the Southern Classic. It'll need a fender. The rocker's not too bad until we get back here. And that's gone. The quarter's kind of gone there. Our inner trunk support, yeah, just like on the top side. That's also kind of gone. Trunk floor's good. Fuel tank, that's gone. Like we saw, the quarter's better, but the inner trunk, that's gone. We're gonna get good at some sheet metal rebuilding, guys. And if you didn't believe this was the trunk lid, at some point, you can actually see some of the glue there. I mean, it's resourceful. It is a way to put it together. Thankfully, we can get the entire floor panel. This is actually the seam for it here. The most difficult part of any of this rust repair, these are your front frame rails, again, like we mentioned. This is some of the first unibody cars, and they did a really good job overall making them strong. The problem is they created some cavities that would collect things. So it is gonna need that rail. We saw that brace on the top, which is kind of a bummer. Bottom side, it's actually pretty good. A little bit there, but we can get these parts. So, you know, we'll strip it, put all that new stuff in there. This front core support, that's gone. But again, a very common upgrade. There's a company that sells a real nice heavy duty reinforced plate that you go in here to tie your front frame rails together. And you know, like we were saying, this is not a slant 318. It's just sitting here, and it's kind of leaning a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. Given the condition of this car, obviously I wasn't going to get it put together in a day or two, but I had something really funny planned. At least I thought it was funny. I was going to go ahead and introduce you guys to the car just like we did, and then I was going to do a montage of wrenching on it. The garage door would close, you would be outside, and then all of a sudden morning comes and you hear something fire up and I drive out in a working car. Another Duster. Taylor, who gave me this car, Stunwall, it was his stunt car for his Holes of Hazard series. He was gonna loan me Stonewall for the event. Now this is a car that is a little rough. It has turned into something meant for autocross and not any type of interstate driving. It has Jericho 4-speed, straight cut, dog box, race transmission, a racing rear end 9-inch with circle track locker, which is almost like just a full-blown spool. It's kind of cool, but I was excited to drive it. So let's go show you that car outside. Well, here, look, there it is. That didn't take long. This is a 74 Duster. It's got full Ford Mustang 2 front suspension. If you jump over to Taylor's channel, Taylor Hull, you can see where he puts this front end together. It's got the Ford 9-inch in the back, and this needed some work to get ready. I did a water pump in it, redid and tightened everything in the front suspension. We built a whole bunch of arms in the back and got that ready to go. Full roll cage, which I am not a fan of full cages on the street, ever. I mentioned this to Scott, the gentleman I work with Holley, and he was real quick to go ahead and send me a pair of the Race Quip open face helmets. Anytime you're going to be near a roll bar, if you're not in a full containment seat, you really need a helmet. The smallest of collisions, your head is not going to do well against a solid bar. So be safe, be smart. If you're driving a full cage car on the street, you need one of the full containment seats that kind of protect you, or just get an open face helmet. There's lots of them out there. Make sure it's a quality one that does meet safety standards. Spend a little bit of money because your safety matters. We make questionable choices. Driving a caged car on the street without head protection, that's a stupid choice. Looking in this car, if you notice, there's a hole in the firewall. That's where a starter used to be. At one point in this car's life, it had a NASCAR Cup motor, but now it's just got an LS running Terminator there to keep it nice and happy. Shifter for that 4-speed, and I mean, again, full-blown race car. She is going to be really loud and really rowdy, and small side probably miserable, but you know what? We do it. We have fun. We go on these crazy adventures because when you're old, sitting with grandkids, sitting with people at a bar, you need stories to tell them. Don't be boring. Get out, do stuff. But when it came time to get out and do stuff with this, I finished wrenching on this on Friday, the day we are supposed to be leaving, and I was running late and was supposed to be on my way to Atlanta for the drivers meeting and get together and getting to meet everyone. And I went to the end of the driveway, turned left, and made it approximately half a mile. Yeah, the drive shaft exploded. Not sure 100% why, and apparently they used a conversion joint in the back and a really small part. It was a dumb setup. Shouldn't have been built that way for whatever reason it was. Don't know if that was the full cause, but at any rate, we now had no car for the event, and it became kind of frantic. So let's go inside and I'm gonna start telling you about the frantic side of things. That was harder than I meant. All right, so yeah, Stonewall broke. I drove half a mile and the drive shaft is completely out of it. Now, I honestly don't remember, since this has been 2 days and I've been cleaning the shop, if I've told you who my co-driver for the Southern Classic is going to be. My good friend, Henry. He is the one who facilitated us doing the musket ball in the short bus, and generally he's on the wall because he's a good friend and we do a lot of questionable stuff together. Honda Rousey, you know, he's a good guy and a great friend to have. So I asked him with less than a week to go if he wanted to fly out and just go on a beer run. He had no clue what we were doing, told me when he was landing in Atlanta, and I am now driving to Atlanta to pick him up, and we are searching Facebook Marketplace. Now, we are looking at just about anything and everything we could buy. There was a 240 Mercedes diesel. Throttle was sticky. I explained what we were trying to do with it, and the guy basically said, no, I will not sell you my car. It has a problem. I will tow it to a shop, but no, I don't trust you to pick it up because you're going to start driving it. I was a little bummed, but you know what? I appreciate an honest seller that didn't feel safe and wasn't willing to let us try to kill ourselves with this car. After a little more hunting, we found a Volvo wagon, the little 4-cylinder, and it looked great in pictures. We got to where it was located, and it was a little rougher around the edges. The overdrive system of the manual was no longer operational, and at any speed over 40, it was slightly terrifying. And without the overdrive, we could only maybe go 60, not even interstate speed. So that was looking problematic, and we are now less than 6 hours from the time we're supposed to leave, and we have no car. So, cue this next scene. I call up a friend that I've not, we've texted back and forth, but not had him on the phone in a really long time. And I was like, Scotty, I gotta buy a car. And he said he's got the perfect car, and we took off to Scotty's house, and cue what we're driving. Hi, Scotty.
Hi, Jared.
Hi, Henry. Henry's driving. If I'm doing something really questionable, Henry is probably involved. But what's really questionable is hearing the saga of all of our car woes, and you said, come on by, I've got something. So,
I got something.
what do we got?
We got a 1982 Toyota Supra L-Type.
Oh, it is the Supra. Oh, so if you don't know my history, one of my first sports cars was an 82 P-Type. I love the Supras, and I love these Supras. So what's a little bit about this car? What are we getting into?
This is a 118,000 original mile car. It's an automatic, total survivor car. And
All original patina. They didn't sell them this way. You've got to earn that look.
Yep. And gets about 26 miles to the gallon. Beautiful. Doing it.
Oh, that's a lot better. So the car we were going to take, it's known as Stonewall. It is a very significant car in Cannonball history. But its current configuration is not meant for driving quickly. It would probably be 70 tops and very loud. This can probably do a little better than that and is going to be comfortable.
This car is
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
It does
just beautiful. 75
miles an hour at like 3,000 RPMs. And it's like, give me more. Is this all you got?
That's perfect. Now, if you didn't know, L-Type stands for luxury and the P-Type was performance. And mainly it was wheels and fender flares.
For the most part. A little bit different cosmetic interior.
Yeah.
Sportier, huggier seats. But
yeah.
That's
the difference. So I thought I got them all right. So you're Sullivan's 3 performance on Instagram as well as...
Just Instagram.
Oh, I meant Bumblebee. What's...
That's under the Sullivan's 3.
You merged them. Awesome.
And
so
it's all under Sullivan's 3 performance now.
You know, it's probably smart that you're not handing us Bumblebee's keys because imagine... You hear about some speeding lunatics going down the road. What is going to be easier to describe? Scotty, big thank you.
Yes, sir.
Random call that we haven't talked in way too long other than occasional Instagram messages. And he's throwing us the keys with enough time, Henry, that we can get a power nap.
There we go.
So we've got, well, it's almost traffic time. So we've probably got a 4-hour drive into Atlanta. But, I'm excited. It has been a lot of work to get to this point, but finally there's a vehicle and 2 seats for our tired butts. That's right. I just happened to fall into a 1982 Toyota Supra. Now, my first big tuner car, the first thing that I spent a lot of time building that wasn't a race car, was a 1982 P-Type Toyota Supra that I absolutely loved, adored, and would like to get one similar to again someday just for nostalgia. But a last-minute Hail Mary has gotten us a Supra to make the run, which is hilarious because I don't know how many people have ended up running Japanese cars in these things, but it's what we had, a car, and we get ready to start, and the way this event works is you have a time clock. You got to punch in when you get started, and you punch out when you get back. So we punch in, and we are off into the Southern Classic. First team out. All right, let's go. Fuel stop. We are in Mississippi. Supra is doing fantastic. Henry's about to take over, and I'm going to pick up navigator duty.
Continue on I-20 West, entering Louisiana.
We are crossing the Mississippi and soon arrived at our turnaround point, the Paradise gas station in Texarkana. Well, we were able to take advantage of our early leave time with a car that is able to cruise a little bit better than expected. And we made it to Paradise. Problem is they can't sell the required item, the cold snacks that we need to bring back, until 7 o'clock. So we have a forced 40-minute timeout. That Supra is a stinking champion. I don't know how much Scotty had been driving it for us to just take it out and just rip on an absolute long cross-country trip. And it's doing great. Fantastic fuel economy. It's comfortable. Oh, from so much stress and uncertainty to what's working out to be kind of successful. So we're gonna hang out, wait for some of the other people to get here, and do some jumping jacks, wake ourselves up, and get ready to start the adventure back. And with the required purchase made, with probably the most impressive receipt ever earned at a Southern Classic, it was 4 seconds after 7 a.m. I don't know that she could have checked us out any quicker, and we were headed back to Atlanta. Daylight was coming out, it was a little bit easier to drive. Henry got some great time behind the wheel, and we were able to make our way back. Now, during this entire time, a big orange van that has lived here for about a year was also making the run, and I was like a nervous parent. I did everything I could to make sure it was perfect. I spent the last 4 days redoing a lot of the wiring that I didn't do to make sure it was perfect, which was a good choice. But I was very regularly checking in to make sure it was making good progress. Traffic was great, and we are entering Atlanta, approaching the finish line. Jump, go! Oh.
Terrible, terrible. Henry, you're wasting seconds. Hey, there we go.
So to explain that finish a little bit and why it is very hectic as we pull into a parking lot and I'm not doing a normal filming process, is to finish your run, just like we started, you have to punch your clock out. So your co-driver getting out and hitting that time stamp as quickly as possible is incredibly important. We're happy with it. We're waiting for official time. We got some of the cars back. We're gonna wait for some more. We're gonna be here and cheering everyone on as they're coming back and finishing their trip. I'm gonna get some sleep because an hour, 2 days, I don't know why we do this, but it is a ton of fun, and I'm glad you guys are coming along. Yeah, what an adventure. For a car, getting there has been a struggle, but huge thank you to Scotty for selling the car. It was a great time. We are at Atlanta Motorsports Park for the celebration party where awards are being handed out, and as we're sitting there, our team was called out and we were given an award. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. I guess I could be happy with it, but we were talking about how we only used 47 gallons of gas for the run. So, friends of the EPA, you know, a big part of being successful in a cannonball run is good fuel mileage and speed, and we had good fuel mileage and some variant of speed, not lots of it, but we had it. So I can't be upset. We were seeing almost 30 miles a gallon. We had a great time and just absolutely amazing. Now, there were a tremendous number of cars. I wanted this to be our experience, us trying to get a Dart out of the woods from 40 years to do it, to a Duster, to another Duster, to buying a car the day of on Facebook Marketplace. I wanted to bring you along on our experience. Now, there's going to be a total event recap video that Taylor will post. You'll get to see all of the crazy cars. It was a great time. So I'm hoping you really enjoyed kind of coming along. Now, if you are wondering, where's the Supra? Why is it not here? Well, I sent a picture of it back to my friend who saw it with the Southern Classic sticker on it and decided he really did want to keep it, and he bought it back. We did end up paying us a rental fee, a very fair amount considering how much we were willing to pay for some of the other absolute piles of turds. So I had a great time. It kind of makes me want to find another 82 Supra, but it was great. I hope you really enjoyed coming along for the adventure of me slowly descending into madness and having a great time at, what's that? Oh, actually, we need to go back to past me at the finish line. Something is happening. What's that? Transcon. Transcon is about to finish. Look out!
How does it feel to break the curse?
You don't want to see grown men cry.
Congratulations, sir.
It made it. That's really cool.
Something that I would say is far more significant than me finishing my own car. I wanted to finish, but you know this car. I've been working on this ambulance and I've been tweaking it, and I just in the last 4 days had to redo almost everything to get it perfect because it deserved perfect. And Mr. Travis Bell, your van's been seen, but you've not shown up. VinWiki fame, Holden fame, Backyard 400 fame, Celebrity Plates fame, a lot of fame. But this is probably, in the Cannonball world, your most significant thing. So, this van finishing right now, why 30-second version? Because you do a beautiful storytelling of this on VinWiki, but the 30-second version of why this matters so much that it just pulled into a parking lot.
I mean, you know, if you can't tell, I'm tore up. I've had this thing for 20 years, and we always joke about it because it'll never make its way out of the drive. But finally, we spent a lot of time, and gosh, Jared, you worked so damn hard on this thing, and from taking off the Phytech stuff to having Holley come on board, to have everybody to figure out all the quirks, and then you get it just so close, and then it's just like, oh gosh, Travis, what's next? And then we couldn't have thought you'd done it without Holley, because they came on board and gave us everything that we needed.
Everything. I've reached out to them, and I'm like, hey, none of this stuff belongs here, and it's really hot. I need this cooler. Also, I need it 2 days ago because
yesterday, yeah,
and they were 100% behind it.
So
and
if you know, I told them, I said, you know, there's going to be a grown man crying at the finish line, and it's true, because you know, I've had this thing longer than I've had my son, and you know, we have tried and tried and tried to get it from a starting line to a finish line, and it has never finished an event until today. And without Jared, without you, I mean, you and I, we've been friends forever. So, but you know, there was only one person I trusted with it, and can't thank you enough.
it's here, literally all day.
We did it
all day long. All day long, I'm checking the GPS. I'm like, how's it? And I'm like,
how's it going?
I was like, are you at Wendy's or are you at the Penske truck rental? Please tell me you're just getting lunch. And again, me finishing was fun. I had my whole story of getting a car to get here, but knowing not just like it means a ton to Travis, but to literally the Cannonball.
Yeah, I mean, all the people. I mean, the curse is lifted, and you know, no better place to do it than Taylor's event and knock it out. So I don't know.
What do you think, Taylor?
I'm just so proud of everybody that put so much work into this to making it happen, whether it's you or Travis or, you know, everybody else in between. But it means a ton to me to, you know, to have the thing
it's your event and
come out to our event.
I mean, and that we drove this thing for 19 hours straight, as hard as it will go. And
you were not kind.
Like it owed you money. I can attest that it went hard because they were chasing us for a long time.
It's been 11 months of Jared looking at it, working on it, and it's been a car track and everything else, and shown up in places. And but
it's been the Holley Mo Party.
Been the Mo Party, and like I said, we can't thank Holley enough. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my friend. And remember to always make questionable decisions.
Choices. We're close.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, you want to try one more time?
Ready? Let's do it again. Then we'll have a quality hug.
All right,
okay.
that sounds good.
He's ready for it. All right.
And remember to always make questionable choices. And about a quality HUD.
Quality HUD. Congratulations.
Questionable choice, right there.
Questionable choice.
No, I'm pointing to the vehicle behind you.
Oh, right here.
But it works.
It works.
You finished Brock's vision.
Yeah.
We finished, like all of us, like it.
Yeah.
Everyone here is making questionable choices. Let's be honest. Including the guy holding the camera.